Hello, and welcome to the 21st episode. So we wrapped up the last track we were doing, which was a little UTV video, and I went ahead and did the editing. So I figured today we could do kind of two different things. We would first just kind of check out the video, the completed project, and we could watch it. And then second, what I was thinking is just kind of play around with some sounds. I'm thinking the next direction that I really want to go is something a little more fast paced, maybe like something that you'd imagine for like a car chase scene or something like that. I was enjoying like some like very suspenseful kind of movie clips, and so I was like, okay, like maybe something that's big reverb and doing the orchestral and kind of a different angle than I usually do. I thought that would be fun, but I figured we just kind of experiment today and just kind of use it as like a lab day to play around. But first, I just want to check out that last project, and then we will move on from there. And also, this is a little different. I don't usually do like videos, so we're going to see how this works. So bear with me. I'm going to switch over to just this, and let's see. I believe Venture Cali V3. All right, here we go. We got to full screen it, of course. Specifically requested the asterisk. And this is probably the biggest change of the song, is this transition right here. This is such a different part. Solo is a little distant, but I also didn't really want it to be super overpowering, and maybe there was a little bit more tinkering that could have been done, but I didn't want it to be like super spacey. I'm pretty happy with where it is. Like I said, I think if I spent like a long time, I could make something a little more complex, harmonies and stuff like that. Like that would be another way to separate. I just don't know how necessary it was for this, because we're keeping it just real bare bones. I think the real turning point of this track too was, maybe it was episode 2 or not, well, part 2 of this track, probably like episode 10 or 11. I noticed there was a latency with one of the mics, and it caused the acoustic guitar, to sound way cooler than what I was doing, which is just 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and that really, I think, made a big difference as well. I think that was like where the energy really came from. Sorry, getting wedding group chat text. And there's my little plug, shameless self-plug. Now, there was one thing that I did change just a little bit, and now it was after the cameras had rolled, and there was just a little frequency that was bothering me, and surprise, surprise, it was like right on that 600 that we boosted to high heavens on the ozone and the original EQ, but it was something on, I tried to remove it with the acoustic guitar bus originally, but I just wasn't really hitting the frequency, and I took a little bit lower chunk out of it, but it was something like right around here. I'll even show you guys real quick. So let's go and play it in here. Oh, actually, see, new trick, we're almost missing it. So this should allow me to show you what's going on Reaper here. So this is an EQ on the guitar bus, and originally I was EQing on the acoustic guitar bus, and then it was looking like this, but it was something in the 600 frequency that was just kind of irking me, and I'll show you guys what it is here. So we'll wait till it kicks in. So we're at -3.1. It was just coming across really bad in the phone, especially. So we'll zero it out. It doesn't even sound that crazy. It was like, it was just always there, and it was bugging me. And I thought it was an acoustic guitar thing, which it might be, but it must come somewhere from the compression, or like I said, like those crazy boosts that we did in the EQ for the whole thing. But I ended up cutting 3.1 just right there and just getting rid of that so it doesn't come through on the other parts. But other than that, this track is as true as can be to the previous parts. I mean, this is everything that went into it. This is where it is, and I think it's a pretty cool track. I was pretty happy with that. But I think we're gonna go to something new, and I'm actually gonna go brand new project, and we don't even need to save it because we're leaving it just as it was. And I'm not really sure exactly what I'm looking for, but I just wanted to play with some instruments and see if we can come up with a cool sound, and then maybe we'll take it to a template, something like maybe the orchestral template that has like the horns and stuff like that. Because I'm kind of imagining a track where it's like a lot of like big reverb elements that are just kind of stretching along, and then using more like kind of crazy sounds and stuff like that, more like if we were writing for like a trailer rather than like something like what we just did, where it's just kind of like a YouTube video where you're just keeping the background. So anyways, let's go ahead and open up. Contact is probably going to be our best bet for this, and someone could tell you probably a lot more about Contact than I can. I mean, I've been using like Native Instruments plugins for a minute. They have a lot of cool plugins that are built specifically for like scoring kind of stuff, but not really scoring. I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. Like, here's some of Action Strikes. Like, there's some cool ones in like an ensemble. So you have something like this, and when you would play like, let's say. All right, we made a mistake. Obviously, we didn't spend too much time on this, but we did lay down some ideas, and it did not translate just because I did not have the plugin on the master when I opened that new project in order to stream it. So we're going to go in today, and we're just basically going to try to catch up a little bit on what was missed. If you are really looking for like the exact thing, like maybe we figure something out, but for now we're just gonna stop it where we started and then pick up from there, and I'll just walk it through where we're at. So here we are in the project, and we kind of landed on 4 tracks primarily, like a string drone, and that would sound like this. That was like that tritone there. This is the sidechain kick, giving a volume duck. Here's the kick that I was using. And this is like that little clicky thing. We probably won't end up living with this, or we'll have to really cut it to get the part that we want out of it. And it still feels a little more suspenseful than it does like high energy. So I'm trying to think of what can I do to really bring up the energy on this. That's what we're trying to get done. Oh, and just if you're interested, that SideChain Heavyocity damage. I'm using just because it's a huge kick and it could sidechain really heavy on this, which the smaller kick can squeeze into those gaps. That's all that was. So really nothing too crazy here. We're obviously just thinking, and this stick will probably come in later too. It's like that flare ringing is already driving me crazy. So we are going to hop in here. I knew it would get me. I'm losing it again. Without being too harsh on it, I think that's the frequency. It might not be. Might be down lower a little bit. Come on up. Yeah. I'm just bringing some of those like don't even need that down the line kind of stuff. And I don't even know if we're gonna live with the string drone or not. We'll have to just see what we want to do. I do want a little more power, so I'm thinking we're just gonna add a lot of percussion on this. So let's just keep plugging along and seeing what other big like bass drum kind of things we could find. Still kind of a lab day. We're just kind of continuing just playing with sounds and coming up with new ideas here. We kind of have a good direction of what we're looking for. Let's see. Timpani's always fun. A lot of the world sounds. Thrill is a fun one. Yeah. outside of the timpani percussion, thrill has some pretty neat like creepy strings, and it's just a lot of horror kind of stuff. Well, just keep rolling with the East Asia stuff. This one has a good like I don't know, like a range. I do like that instrument. It's fun. Let's get some. Whoa. Maybe a little different than that. Something like that for tension. That I'm not in love with. That we might have to play with a little bit, but I'm thinking something like that. I just had a thought. Make sure that this is actually streaming here. Okay. Just a little nervousness. We could just take this and loop this as necessary. What's nice about battery too is it has a lot of like onboard stuff that's more for shaping a sound rather than like character. Because you might want to like like if you look at like the string drone, like I used a lot of EQ to get a lot of character that tend to be on board on a lot of plugins, but these are ones that I just know, and I'm aware of the controls, and maybe they're a little more detailed. But even for something like that, like I'm thinking about like removing some of the high end, and I could just filter it. It's just, I don't know, I think it's not a huge difference in just using an EQ, but it's just kind of a helpful tool just because there's so many of them that are pretty decent. And even on the master, like there's more in-depth like compressor tools and stuff like that. And since on this one I'm really not using it for more than just one thing, and that is an actual option, is just to use some of these compressor tools and stuff like that to get something that's a little bit more close to what I was going to do anyways in the chain, and just keep it on the one plugin. Just I guess a little food for thought, I don't know. I'm still not in love with this stick. I think we're going to do a lot of reverbs on these. I'm thinking something small. Thinking like a bedroom even. Let's go. There's a bedroom one. Let's give that a shot. Kind of like the reflex room a little more. It's really that shape is the big difference there. I'm going to increase the size just a little bit. I'm trying to think of what to call that. Like 16th drums. So we've got plenty of room up there. Let's start to get more usable blocks. I'm even thinking something like this. I know it offsets. Or I guess we could just unsolo everything would be the other way to go. I'm just kind of playing with the way it opens and releases. We're just going to keep adding wood. Where is this one hiding? Oh, maybe if I armed it. gonna figure something out with that. I might have to do that one in the MIDI. Let's see where we want it. Let's just say it jumps in here. With that 5 bars, that makes no sense. So let's take it to 4. And it's all C4. Remember, maybe not on this one. All right, C5 on the MIDI, or on the whatever this is. And what I was digging was bop. So 1, 2, 3. Right? Oh no, wait just a second. I don't know. I'm not in love with that idea, so let's keep playing. I'm liking something like that. So bump, 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 bump. Loop it, and we'll bring it on back. See if we can quantize this. Let's see what happens when you go off your own random tempo. So let's just take it from the start. And we'll go ahead and give it a save. Then we'll have all the elements coming together. This time we want to add something else. But not only do we want to add something else, but I was feeling maybe even another string thing going on. Thinking something a little midi or something a little more lower mid kind of presence. This might be a good point to see if we can't find like a nice pad or something. And I was thinking something. Let's see here. I'm thinking between Black Obsidian and Icicles here. I think Icicle's gonna hit more of that target that we were shooting for. So let's see. I think that metal tinkling's gonna have to go. Let's run cinematic. Let's go like subwoosh. So weird the way it's deciding to do that. I'm not liking any of these. No, I'm going to go back to the default here. Now what I'm doing here is I'm basically running it through this, and I'm just seeing if I can get like a nice way to kind of automate like a slipping sound, so it kind of comes in and goes out. I'm just not finding exactly what I'm looking for. I think I don't mind that sample. I'm just not really seeing. Maybe it's too haunting. Maybe I need something that's going to drive it a little faster. Let's keep clicking around here. Try this one. This is our second contender. Okay, See, so that's kind of a little bit more of like what I was expecting to happen. Too much. So I'm thinking something like that would be the sweep that I'm looking for. So let's try to put it into context. So that's kind of where it would like be. That's like the performance, is that little modulation or automation or whatever you want to call it. And I'm having a drop on the same time. I believe that note is dropping anyways on the string sample. And I'm just, doing the, I guess the minor 6. So maybe the other tritone that I thought it was, maybe that is just minor 6, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. And just circling it in this little range right here. It's kind of putting it into like that delay effect, and then it's kind of drawing it back as you go back to the like 0 0 there, the origin, I suppose. So let's see, how do we want to pull this off? Let's just, should we just give it a shot? I think I'm going to move this over here. And I'm just going to play. Let's see if it kept that automation. I did something a little funky there. So let's run it back and let's open up the program, see what it looks like. I think it's because I left it there. That's why it's hitting it like that. So we'll have to go back and automate it, but no big deal. We're going to stick it about right there because I think that's kind of where I picked it up, and we just did a little circle right here. So let's go into our trim. Oh boy. Yeah, what would you even call this? Drive and intensity, is that what we're going to be arming here? I believe so. So obviously intensity is our y-axis, drive is our x-axis, and we're basically using the individual level controls to drive that little circle in the same pattern that we were trying to do it before. So it's just going to take a little bit of eyeballing, but it shouldn't be too bad. So we know we start right there. We go right there. We do this one right there. So we'll start off with intensity, the y-axis. And let's see if we did it to about right there. Where does that take us? So we're going even higher than that. So we're going pretty high up there. All right, that's better, but we moved it a little quicker. And then easily by then, we were bringing it back down. How you can say a fast start for that one. And we did not go all the way back down for this one, so let's say it's about right there. I'm gonna say 2 circles on this one. Why not? This one could even be headed down a little faster than that. And of course, this is not the exact same. It really wasn't something like that as much as, let's go for there maybe. This one could be a slow start. Did it wrong. I did it wrong. Let's go. Even something like that might be more appropriate for there. So we're going around. This one would be fast end, maybe? I'm guessing now. No, it wasn't that kind of drop. We'll see about that. We'll see how we feel about that one. Alright, now let's hop over to drive. And we're going to do roughly the same moves. So in this one, let's just see where it does. You know, we weren't even that far over, so. So this one's going up too fast. It's going too high on the y-axis. towards the center, then we bounce off. Then we're going to return on this axis even faster. So let's just see where that puts us. And we're dropping back down, and we're going back in for another. Alright, and then that one, now we need. Shouldn't go that far. Very quiet. Let's just say we glue it, reverse it, feed it into itself. What happens? Let's go. So we have a string drone, and we have this texture going on. And realistically, I think this needs a comp on it, the same deal. So we're going to receive SideChain kit. What's up, Leo? Why don't you... Is the signal too low? Is that what's going on? I might even pulse it on the string drum a little harder then. I'll copy it over here just so it has it on it as well. I just don't know how well it will work. Oh, let's see here. I don't know why it's just a fraction off there. I'm kind of tempted just to fill in the whole dang thing with it. Well, say that I did. I would need, what, this much? And I'm just adding on the sidechain kick. Just keep it running. Yeah, we already did that, so I think we're going to cut that off there. And we still need something bigger here. So I think we're going to go back into contact and let's get these named too. Good luck. What will we name you? We are going for a bigger drum again. You know what a frame drum is? Interesting. Any of these have what I'm really looking for? No. It may be time to search another bank. So we're going to replace this with battery and just see what we have. This is my biggest complaint with battery, is I have enough samples on here to absolutely ruin the preview screen. So like if I were to go into, let's say I go like bongo, I'm trying to think if there's any other better examples. Maybe it's not even in percussion. But if I do like drums and then we have like hi-hat, it's like there's very small room. I'm trying to think of how I got it into. I had it before where there was like so many menus on there that it almost made it so I could only look like 2 things at a time. It was mind-boggling. So maybe it's gotten better. Maybe since then they've updated or something. Or maybe I'll run into it again and I'll go, oh, there it is. So anyways, percussion. I'm looking just for some big drums. I'm going to start that one. Let's just see what it does. I don't think it's quite fitting for this application, but it was a good try. I'm even thinking I think I'm going to start saving all my little clicky hits as well. I like that one. And I like Algerian 1. kind of like that one. I don't even know what the heck. It's like scoring a cartoon listening to these samples. Alright. Let's see here. It's kind of a neat one. Holy hell. I'm just gonna skip past this, Elliot. I'm sorry. Sorry, Elliot. Just put that one over to the side there. I don't know if we'll be able to use that, honestly, but man. It's saturated so hard. We were better off jumping off earlier. Holy crap. That one would make a decent impact just for that long tail. That beginning is like that boom, bump, bump, bump. That is a little weird, but I love that hold on there. And we're back at the top. Alright. No, it's not going to fit this. don't know. But it's not gonna happen. I want to use that stupid so bad, but it's just not gonna make sense. I'm making myself laugh with that one. But we could potentially pair it so it's like boom, bam, boom, boom, ba, boom. Like so, it is cycling a little bit with these big kicks. And instead of me adding a million instances of contact and doing one individual thing, we could kind of pile these on. And I'm thinking maybe next we'll jump into action strikes. And we'll do something where it's a really big boom, doom, da, da, boom, boom, da, da, boom, doom. You know what I mean? It's just really hitting on the ones of these. Something fun that we could do as well is kind of like a what is it, tumbao or whatever, like a boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, bam. We really haven't applied we could do like an easy like modulation into like. Let me just kind of play it like. And I'll use my dumb sample for it. So we could still do something like that, and we could bring it down. We could there's a ton of options on what we can still like do with the tempo here. We're probably going to try to build it and then drop it, build it and drop it, and build it and drop it. So it's like. Now we're talking about the structure. So let's make them all normal size. So like we're starting off with these string drones. It's growing. We're getting like these little background sounds. We start getting some percussion, and then it drops, and it does. And then these elements are coming back in. We're gonna add new stuff, and it's gonna get a little bigger, a little crazier, and then it's gonna have to drop again. And then we'll build it up one last time. It should be like the biggest thing possible, and then it'll hit a stinger, and then that's probably the close right there. And we're shooting for around 2 minutes, so it would end right here. So we're like half-ish way through the structure at the moment. Let me see. How are we doing on time here? All right, we just crossed an hour. Not too bad. I also tried to trim up the camera. I don't know if you guys even notice, but I feel like it's a little cleaner. But maybe if I'm cutting myself out of the shot, then I'll ease off on it. Let's see. Buddy. I know I'm going to be going through this later. I'll be like, why would I star this one? Was a mistake that. really was slim pickings down here, wasn't it? I think I missed a star. Let me see. No, maybe I didn't. So whatever that clicking thing in the beginning's got to go. What is that? That can't be. Oh, I see. Maybe if I actually put it in there, then I could actually affect it. What if we could do to destroy that? A big difference. You hear that in the beginning? At the sacrifice of a lot of tone. Let's see here. Okay, I think something like that. So what this is a lot of sub, and this has a lot of punch. So I'm hoping together it's just really pushing it through. And I'm also blowing up our master here. So the first one would have the sub for the one, and then this one would be the off one, and then this one alone for the last, because I don't want that sub interrupting the next sub. So let's pick it up here and see if we can perform that. All right. Okay. So let's compare the first part to the second part. See if we want that wood block to go through or not. There's a big tail on that one. Okay. So I'm liking that. I'm thinking we are gonna pull out action strikes and try to get a nice sample that we can kind of plug and play with. Like I said, I'm a little sensitive about that one because I will not use the pre-recorded loops, and pretty much in any program that has pre-recorded loops, I try to avoid them. I mean, honestly, maybe I'm a little crazy because I haven't even gone through all of them and been like, oh, this was good or that was bad. But like, even if I did like it, I would probably use it more as like a reference than anything else. So let's see. Let's think here. Let's play from the start, and then I'll go ahead and open up action strikes. We're gonna keep saving too. I think we're getting to a point with this track where the logical move would be to either bring it into an existing template with more orchestral stuff, or bring some elements of my templates into this. Now, I'm not sure which way I want to go yet. There's still a lot that can be kind of developed, and we could also do it more in segments since a lot of the percussion is already existing here and we're just using like a basic texture. I could take this into the template and kind of get something more flushed out and then put them together at a later point. I tend to try to keep everything on the same project and keep the MIDI, like even like this, like I have the MIDI here, but clearly we did something else where we rendered that MIDI performance with the automation into a sound file, and then we reversed it and we kind of used it for like a texture on the drone. So this MIDI wouldn't even theoretically play that, not even theoretically, it wouldn't play this, but we still have the information there on there. So it's like I kind of prefer to have everything on the same project instead of doing like, okay, here's like the rhythm section, this is all this, and then I render this and I put it into a master file that can mix it from there. There is like a certain thing to be said about not like tweaking little things and going back, but I don't feel like I have like a completion of version. I do get to diminishing return point and I go, we don't need to worry about this. And then even sometimes it's nice to be able to go back and do a little thing. And anyways, we're just talking to talk. We're yapping today. Let's go ahead and play and start. And that's pretty much where we are with it. Fun to get to use the pedal I bought for the MIDI controller. That's kind of neat. I'd love to see if I can automate like a delay to it, like a bypass with a delay. I could hit it like a pedal, like a guitar pedal. Kind of fun. And the last note, hit the pedal and it's like pop, 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 pop. Alright, we don't need to listen to that. So I just pulled out action strikes. So we'll go ahead and play with this. playing it a little heavy-handed, I think. I actually like that on the opener. Surprise sneeze attack there. I'm trying to figure out the right combination of these. Try to shoot one at a time. Maybe something like that. You just hit everything. Wow. Let's see how hard I'm blowing this thing up. What is wrong with me? What the heck is that? Alright, so let me see where I want to put that in. So we'll let the other bass run. And then but we can honestly let it go a little longer than what this is. Let's see if I can cleanly grab this. I'm going to drop it right there. See how clean I could grab this. Not very. Yeah, not the cleanest move. Just a little drop. So let's let it run from there. Oops. I think it's something a little off there. I think that gap really changed me up. It's not hitting the same. Let's take out the middle section then. Let me see. Give it a shot. We'll leave the action strikes like that for now. I'm giving it just a little more room. I feel like let's go back to the beginning. Let's run it back from the top here. Be a great place for a big bass drop. I think I have an impact that I could use for that. Let's go. We can remove this. We might have used it on the last one. I could also just make one from scratch, just a little cleaner. Yeah, maybe we'll do one from scratch. Do the move I've done before is kind of grab this one from yeah, so I'm just grabbing the tail end of it and I'm fading it in so it feels a little bit more like an actual strike. And I would want something else to kind of pair with that, so it's like a, you know, like something with a little bit more bite to it. Let's go ahead and jump back into battery and let's just find a nice clean impact. Whoa, I think I like that one better than the one I fastened over there. Let's try that. That's better. Okay. So a longer quiet part and then a heavy build to get into the 2 minutes. So let's go back. Let's think about where our track really starts. Oh, you know what else? I did like that action strike on the very beginning, doing just that drop to signify the opening. I might not keep it. It might just be like something that you can edit off if you don't want that. You just want the natural swell, but it'd be cool to have it at least to like signify like, doom, like here's the beginning of the track. And I don't know how the scene would change. I don't know if it would be like. I don't know if it would be like a quick jump in or if it'd be like something's brewing, but I just thought that was a cool sound and a neat way to open the track up here. So let's go ahead. I think that's what it was, right? this whole thing out. Well, if I do this, I'm kind of committing to making it the primary track. So let's go ahead and set this to 0, 0, and set this to measure 1. Then we'll go and we'll find 2 minutes. And this is our target ending here. Why don't you like type what I want to? So if we were to start it from 1, I can't really do that on a MIDI anyways. I don't know, maybe I don't like it. I was thinking something this would need would be a little bit of compression to bring out. Alright, listen to it from the top one more time, and I think on the next one we'll start bringing in horns and some other elements, and I think we'll bring other elements into this, but I'm going to break it up into like a very similar kind of setup where I'll have like percussion, like a melody, and like ambiance or like environment. And so like of course like the drone, the texture, all that kind of stuff will be environment, and those will probably be broken out into different groups and really expanded on, and even just give a little better control as the song flows, so it's not just this boring loop, but there's actually moving and it feels like it's evolving a little bit. And then this percussion section is going to be pretty robust because I want that to be like really like a forefront of what's going on, and even this might be too laid back of a sound. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do to amp that up. And then, of course, we're going to have some melody in there. So like I said, like the horn strikes and stuff like that, I feel like that should give a little bit more like substance to the track. That way there's something you can actually like mentally go, yeah, this is the main part or whatever. Like this is the harmony of it. So let's run it from the top. I might take this off. I'm not sure if I like this or not, but for now we'll leave it. Like I said, you could always delete it, so. something maybe like a shaker could add a little bit of like more like a like something that's really fast subdivided. I'm thinking hi-hats in my head, but I wanted to keep a little bit more ornamental for this. Yeah, so I think we got a pretty good chunk knocked out with that one. Let's go ahead and switch back. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Sorry about the little interruption there. That's crazy that we lost the beginning of this one. Just, I mean, you could hear me talking, you could hear any like DI input, but without the stream, you're not hearing what's actually happening in the DAW. So a little unfortunate, but like it wasn't a whole lot to catch up on, and a lot of the work that we did here was, you know, from that anyway. So you can kind of see where it was. I'll probably leave the beginning of the video where we're just checking out the last project and just run it. Once we get to the point where we're jumping in here, just kind of started with this one. So we're gonna call this one like 21.5. We're gonna do like it's like an additional. It was a little short anyways. The last one was like 25-30 minutes or something. But I appreciate you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions. Is there anything I could do? Anything I could answer? Or if you just have like a suggestion on you know, where to take it. This one we don't even have a reference track. We're just kind of going from the hip. But it's been a fun one. I really like that percussion section. I'm really digging the I don't even know what you call it, like the action strikes on kind of the in between. That was going back to like we can modulate, but then I do that bum bum at the end. So I'm not sure if we're gonna modulate from there. I'm not even sure if I wanted to drop off that heavy that quick after it came back in. So we're gonna have to kind of figure out what we want to do for structure as well as we go along. And there's still some room. There's still some room for like some synths or something like that. Maybe like a really like hard tremolo. Maybe that would add some like upbeatness to it. But it's kind of cool. It's always fun to play the percussion section. But I will catch you guys on the next one. Maybe I'll do another one later today, or if not, then we'll just do it tomorrow like regular. And yeah, I'll see you then. Peace.